Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. And of course, today is not Monday to Friday, it's Sunday, but Bitcoin is doing the moves, so we gotta talk a little bit about that. So mostly we're gonna talk about what I'm kind of feeling about, will this actually go to 25k, 30k, will we drop towards the downside? And I'm a little bit, been a little bit worried because, I've just like you guys been through, 2 years of bear market. So of course I do have my, reservations for, Bitcoin going towards the upside. And you always think, yeah, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. But I'm still keeping the bullishness, and even this move towards the upside, I'm gonna be here, giving you a, word of warning what can happen. But I'm also gonna show you that this actually is very, very bullish. What's happening right now is very bullish, and I've, been thinking that it's very bullish for a long time now. I'm just all the time saying that this needs to go more towards the upside. Now that said, I am bullish. It needs to go towards the upside. And you know what happens every time I become bullish? It drops down. Now, hopefully, this is a little bit different right now, because previously I've been bullish in a bear market. Right now I'm bullish in a bull market, so maybe it's gonna work out, right? Maybe it's gonna break towards upside, so we're gonna see that. Now I want to give you a word of warning why also this can actually drop down, but I'm gonna be mostly talking about why this is very, very bullish. We're gonna go above 25k, we're gonna wreck everybody, and so forth, so forth. Before we start doing that, Touching Racing, good morning, man. How you doing, man? Nice to have you here. XRP Legend, hey, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Mohammed, you morning, brother. How you doing this morning? You trading any longs today? Because 25k, here we come. Yesterday was a long in position. I was doing stuff, and it didn't go. I mean, I traded in the right direction both times, but got stopped out. So there was no games. But yeah, if I was looking at anything right now, it might be short-term short, because pullbacks. But when I say short-term short, I don't mean down to this is not short-term short over here. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying a short-term short is something like this over here. So it's a little bit different, right? So it could be short-term short pullback or something like that. Could be a bigger long position somewhere up here probably, but long-term up here, at least in until something changes. There should the long should be on the table. Bitcoin did not go into a retrace after the last time all-time high. So do you think that maybe this is just a retrace and we just got to 40-50k and then big drop? There will definitely be big drop, guys. There will definitely be drop. What is happening on the chart? If you look at the chart on a little bit bigger time frames, what is happening up here? It's not that this price doesn't go straight towards the upside. It just doesn't do that. It will always have some kind of retracement up here. But what we are actually doing up here on the chart, maybe there is some kind of line up here. What we are actually doing on the chart, we are creating this pivot point, just like we have been creating these small pivot points up here. We are creating a pivot point that's gonna create a new line, because right now this line is very steep. So what we have to do is create a line that's not so steep, and only after that, once we break that line again towards the upside, that's gonna be big time. So this move up here that's happening right now, what we are doing up here, we are creating this pivot point. Now where this pivot point will come up here, will come down there, or over here or something like that, will come down at 30k. We don't know where the pivot point is actually just yet. We're gonna find out when we get to that pivot point. But what is happening, we are getting to the pivot point. So a lot of people become stupidly bullish up here somewhere, and if that happens, of course we're gonna go into consolidation, retracement, and so forth, everybody will be screaming for 10k. There might be another one of these black swan events or whatnot. We might actually go down to 0 or something like that, right? And then towards the upside. But yeah, this won't just continue up to the all-time high. If it does that, I'm gonna be very happy about that. I'm also gonna be very happy to say that I was wrong, but I just don't see that the price just gonna go above 70k right now. It's just not gonna happen. So what's happening right now is we are at least from what I'm thinking, we are having a short squeeze. We are having capitulation of the shorters, of the bears, and once that's done, once the bears and shorters have capitulated, we will create some kind of local top, and then we'll have a consolidation phase, a bear market down to 0, something like that. Not actually. Bitcoin Daily, Monday, Friday, 9 a.m. It's Sunday, 11 a.m. today. What a legend, this guy. Yeah, sometimes we gotta do these Bitcoin dailies when when something is happening, oftentimes that comes, you know, Sunday, and, you know, we didn't have any kind of updates yesterday, so, you know, today is a nice day, nice morning to do Bitcoin daily and, you know, just talk about it, because Bitcoin is up 1.7% right now, and it's interesting to see what's actually happening on Bitcoin over here, and I'm gonna explain to you a little bit. You can see here my lines are getting broken towards upside, but these are just, you know, triangles, and triangles are breaking and break, but there is actually a channel up here towards upside. We're gonna talk about that. Let's go, Skywalker. Ben, good morning. How you doing, man? Yeah, welcome back. We gotta know, Jurgen. And Marie, good morning. How you doing? Dimut, let's go. Skywalker, what's up? Edward, morning. The legend, the man. Too good to be true. Edward is too good to be true. Hey, man, what happened to the Phantom Long? Did you survive? Yeah, we don't talk about that. I don't know what you talk about. There was no Phantom Long. Smash the like button. Smash like. Garrett, good morning, chaps. Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin and see what's actually happening up here. Now you can see here on this chart. Good morning, family. Good morning. So now you see on this chart there is something called liquidity zone up here, and every time you have consolidation, you always have liquidity zones both below and above the liquidation. You gotta understand that. People will always talk about liquidity zones, and they will always be talking, oh, we need to go into the liquidity zone to, you know, pick up the liquidity. But you gotta know that, you know, just above us up here, what is it, up here, just above us up here, there's also a liquidity zone. There is a liquidity zone both on the upside and downside of any consolidation pattern. It's just a normal way. Why is there a liquidity zone up and down? Because once you have any kind of, you know, trading zone up here, above that trading zone there will be stop losses, liquidations level, and so forth. So this is like liquidity. So if price goes into those levels, you can pick up a lot of liquidity, meaning you can, you know, boost your positions in the other direction, right? The same thing goes towards downside. You know, a lot of people that went long up here, they're having, you know, stop losses right below the previous levels. Down here they're having liquidations levels and so forth, because they don't think we can get down there, right? Because this is some kind of range up here, and if it goes out of that range, you know, they are like, yeah, we probably failed our moves, right? So there is always liquidity both on the upside and the downside. Now, yesterday I was a little bit worried, because the problem up here with the chart, there is no problem, but you know, in any kind of bearish market or anything like that, the problem would be that, you know, this is going for too long. You know, a lot of people are becoming, you know, very, very bullish towards the upside. And when price kind of fails to break certain levels up here at the top, and a lot of people are becoming bullish, oftentimes what happens is that you dip into the liquidity zone, pick up new people up here, and then bounce, you know, towards the upside. So I was looking at this, I'm still looking at the liquidity zone, and I'm still thinking this could be happening, but it doesn't have to happen, that we're gonna drop down into the liquidity zone and then move towards upside. Something like over here. What you see up here, there is you know, there was some kind of channel up here towards upside. We went with the wick down to the bottom of that. We didn't actually go all the way down, but there was a lot of liquidity, because you can see up here this trend line up here. So you can say that this liquidity zone is you know, some kind of triangle up here. Some kind of triangle up here, just below that that channel up here. So we went below down there, we picked up whatever liquidity there was to get up there, and then we moved towards the upside. Now this is very normal moves for any kind of liquidity peak, and you know, to move you know, higher and go you know, higher. But it doesn't have to happen that way. It doesn't have to happen. If it does happen, it happens something like this. It goes down, consolidates, and goes up. You get this box inside the liquidity zone, wherever that liquidity zone is, right? And then you continue going towards the upside. Over here there is also a small liquidity box up here. If you see up here, there is some kind of trading range up here, give or take. And once we get I mean, there has been these weeks up here, but you know, we went out of that, you know, to those levels. We picked whatever there is all liquidity to pick below these levels down here, and then we went higher, right? So these liquidity picks, when price goes down, they do happen. It's a very normal move towards downside, even in some kind of bullish and bearish trend. Now fortunately for us, hopefully for us, we don't do that right now. We don't do that. We did it once over here. I think this was a liquidity grab. Will we do it over here? I don't think we need to do that. I think we can just continue pumping towards the upside up here. But if we do that, I'm looking at liquidity, some kind of liquidity zone down here, give or take, maybe a little bit up, a little bit down, where we get, you know, pick up liquidity and then go towards the upside. That is also still very, you know, on the bullish menu, Now, that said, the liquidity zone and stuff like that, and right now you can see up here we are pumping up here above the moving averages. And I was a little bit worried, you know, because I was thinking that this might drop down here. I was thinking that this might drop in the liquidity zone because it wasn't looking. Now over here we started becoming, you know, seeing a very nice signs that Bitcoin is actually quite bullish. There was bullish engulfing candle. There was a higher high up here. We bounced, you know, up here, you know, towards the high up here, and then we pulled back. This pullback just got us the 20 moving average down here, but then we were, you know, ranging in this between the you know, between the 10 and 20 moving average up here, and I was definitely seeing after this candle that this can actually close below down here, even below the 50 moving average, and then continue on the downside over here. Now that didn't happen, so it's all good and dandy. We actually bounced from 20 moving average, had a big move yesterday, you know, in the middle of the night. I was like, what kind of move happens in the middle of the night on the weekend? You know, you gotta go back, you know, go back and go sideways until Monday. So we did pull back, but we didn't pull back into the moving average. We are right now still above all of the moving averages up here very nicely. And right now, you know, we are having this nice move towards the upside. So you can also see here that we have some kind of high, higher high, higher high, higher high. So we got a higher highs and higher lows all the way towards the upside. Is this a channel? Is this a channel, or is this a rising wedge? Rising wedge towards the upside? It kind of doesn't matter. It kind of doesn't matter. I'm going to explain to you why, but I'm also going to explain to you that whatever this is, whatever kind of this move is, whether it's a rising wedge or a channel, that it is very bullish. It is very bullish. Let me show you something on the chart. Let me show you something on the chart previously and how these bullish trends actually tend to play out. Now, but before we do that, let's go to the 4-hourly chart up here and just draw the channel because reasons. So, okay, let's do liquidity zone. So this looks to me like there is some kind of channel up here because you can see higher highs all the way. And if you take that and, you know, create some kind of channel out of that, give or take, doesn't really matter up here. It really doesn't matter. What are we gonna use? Yeah, it's good enough. What you're gonna see here in this channel up here, that we are actually channeling towards upside, guys. Right now we're coming to this stop up here again, you know, so we are not yet out of the channel, right? There has been several ways this channel could be drawn. Some are broken, some are not broken, but this channel towards the upside is not yet broken. You can see up here as well that we have been channeling towards the upside over here, then broke a little bit down, you know, picked up the liquidity and went down. So, you know, just because you are channeling towards the upside does not mean that you need to break towards the downside. Does not mean that you have to break towards the downside. Just because you are channeling towards the upside does not mean that you're gonna break towards the downside. Uptrend channels are by definition bearish. So anything that goes towards the upside, whether that's a rising wedge, a channel, you know, a triangle, whatever, anything that's going towards the upside is by definition bearish move. Why? Because price is a lot easier, you know, time to, you know, break the support, because support is like, when you're going towards the upside, the support is always a lot weaker than the resistance. The resistance is super strong. It's always very hard to break the resistance, but the support is always very, you know, very weak. So anything that goes towards the upside, the supports are very weak. This is definition of any kind of move that goes towards the upside, and the moves that go towards the downside, any kind of resistance is a lot weaker than. So many. That's why everybody loves, you know, folding wedges, because, you know, they tend to break very easily towards the upside, right? Because you went down, you know, you got some kind of extensions, you hit some kind of low prices, and it's very easy for price to turn around. Now that said, in a bullish trend, in some kind of strong bullish moves, these channels towards the upside, although they are by definition bearish, you know, once they break towards the upside, you have majestic moves towards the upside. You have big pumps, and these, you know, channels towards the upside are very normal in some kind of strong bullish trend. They are very normal. So let me show that. And right now we're coming back to the, you know, the part that I want to show you. So we're gonna go away from the bear markets. We're gonna go, you know, back up here. We're gonna start up here in the bull markets. And what you're gonna see here, for example, over here, is that the channeling towards upside is very normal. Up here you got some kind of channel. You're channeling towards upside. You break that, you have an explosive move towards the upside, right? Channels towards the upside are very bullish in any kind of bullish trends, right? So you can see up here we are channeling towards upside, but once that channel breaks, you have a very explosive moves, right? You got a very explosive move after the channel break. You're gonna even see that over here, down here, when we are in this accumulation zone in 2019, right up here, there was a channel towards upside over here that went towards the resistance up here. And once we came up here towards the top, although the channel should be bearish by definition, you know, you should fall down, this actually broke towards the upside. And, you know, every time you break bearish bearish channels bullishly, just, you know, super explosive. So these moves can tend to be very explosive. And this happens in a strong bullish trends. These definitely happen in a strong bullish trends. You can also see up here, this is a strong bullish trend up here, of course, this part over here. So if you look at a strong bullish trend up here, what you're gonna see here, there is a lot of these, you know, sideways, you know, channeling moves. Up here, you can see up here, channel towards upside, break that towards upside, right? Then it, you know, channeling is up, you know, there is also some kind of, you know, a rising wedge up here, break that towards upside, right? So you'll see all the time these, you know, this is a little bit tricky up here. This is a consolidation of a triangle over here, some kind of consolidation of triangle up here, but these, and then we come to some kind of 40k up here, and then you'll see even up here there is a channel up here to, you know, the channeling towards upside, but once it breaks, it explodes towards upside, right? I'm not saying that this cannot happen after that, we are not talking about that, but we are talking about that the channels that channel towards upside in a strong bullish trends tend to break towards upside. That's just very normal. So if you have a strong bullish trend, you tend to break towards upside. Over here also, just before we start this capitulation phase on the short, that, you know, it started trending towards upside slightly up here, and then you have these big moves, volatile moves towards the upside. If you look at up here more, up here there came some kind of, you know, consolidation phase up here, but after that there was also some kind of channel up here, bigger channel up here, broke towards the upside, right? And these channel over here, you can see very nicely these channels that are happening over again. You got a channel up here that goes towards upside, breaks towards upside, some kind of pullback up here, you know, continuing towards upside. Here is a very big, you know, channel towards upside up here, slowly climbing towards upside, you know, explodes towards upside. So channeling towards upside, although in any kind of normal sideways market, slow moving market, bearish market, moving, you know, uptrend channels are bearish by nature. In strong bullish trends, they do tend to break towards upside, and they do tend to be very violent. So if you look what we have on the chart over here right now, is we got some kind of rising channel. This is a second rising channel after this channel, and this channel doesn't have these kind of, you know, liquidity pullbacks either, but we are still not out of the channel. So it does look nice, but we are still in the channel. It does look, you know, bullish, but we are still in the channel. But what I can tell you that is, if we do break this channel towards upside up here, it's gonna be explosive move, guys. It's gonna be explosive move, and it's gonna explode towards upside. It's gonna be very majestic. Now we don't have, you know, reasons to be very bearish. The weakness up here that I've been saying, that, you know, Bitcoin looks very weak, it was on the small time frames. I've been looking at 1 hourly time frame, 30 minutes time frame, but if you look at a 4 hourly time frame, you know, daily time frame, stuff like that, the bullishness is definitely there. We are getting higher highs, we are pushing up, Bitcoin is holding supports very well. So I don't think this is done just yet. I don't think this is done just yet. I've been a little bit, you know, cautious, because there are two reasons. Number one, when price uses too much time to break certain levels, oftentimes to me that indicates that it just doesn't have enough bullishness to break that level. So oftentimes these things pull back either into the liquidity zone and goes up, or just, you know, crash all the way towards the downside, right? These things can happen, right? So it's been using a little bit too long time to break these levels towards the upside, and that's kind of getting me a little bit, you know, worried that, you know, maybe it's, you know, it's gonna fail. But it kind of, you know, on a bigger time frames, 4 hours and stuff like that, it is getting these higher highs. It is kind of, you know, bouncing off of the support lines. It does look okay. So it does look okay. The second reason, I don't know if you remember from the bear market, stuff like that, every time people think the last, you know, one more leg up or one more leg down, just one more dip, just one more pump, every time they start thinking about that things often don't happen. So I'm a little bit unsure whether people are thinking just one more leg up here to 25k. I'm a little bit unsure about, but if people are talking about one more leg up, it's probably not gonna happen. But I'm a little bit on the side, because I'm thinking, like, do we have one more leg up? Do we have, you know, 2 more legs up to 30k or something like that? How many legs up do we have? That's the problem, because when stupidly, you know, bullish people become, you know, just one more move, just one more move, you know, oftentimes that doesn't happen. And when stupidly bearish people become, you know, just one more, you know, dump, just one less dump, you know, so I can pick it, you know, that doesn't happen. But I'm a little bit unsure whether we are at that point just yet. I mean, I could be like, yeah, we need another move towards upside. I don't think actually we need one more move toward the upside. I actually think we need, you know, 2 more moves towards upside up here, maybe even 3 more moves towards upside. But I'm not on that, you know, just one more, you know, leg up. But I still have it in the back of my mind that, you know, price that, you know, fails to get above certain resistance over long periods of time tend to pull back and then shoot towards upside or just fail. On the other hand, this, you know, just one more leg up is also in back of my head that, you know, maybe you are waiting for this just one more leg up towards 25k. Will that actually happen or not? Kind of depends. But the channel is not broken yet. We are at resistance right now. Short pullbacks might happen over here. Consolidation might happen. Altcoins are doing very well right now. They are 2-3% up. But it's still Sunday, you know, and people will tell you, you know, nothing's happening on Sunday, there is no volatility. And it is true that, you know, during weekends, you know, there is less volatility than other, you know, days. But it's not like, you know, on the weekends there is zero volatility or all the weekends have no volatility at all. There has definitely been weekends where the volatility has been very, very high. That said, today is not actually a weekend, it's actually ending of the weekend, it's Sunday. And oftentimes on Sunday, on the 4-hour close before the, you know, Sunday ends, the moves start happening, guys. The moves start happening before the daily close happens. So we're gonna see. So I'm looking still for the breakout up here. You can see up here that we are coming, you know, right now on the 4-hour time frame, we are breaking this resistance up here. This resistance up here, we are doing very well there. We got a 1 hour and 1 minute left on the 4-hour candle, but we are getting higher highs, and right now we are getting you know, close above these. Previously we just had wicks close above, you know, up here above the resistance, but right now we are having, you know, extra 4-hour close above there. So higher highs, channel going towards the upside, stupidly bullish trend. Bears think we're gonna go down. Everybody still thinking, you know, you're gonna down to, you know, do you think we'll ever see 1620 again? No, I don't. Not in the short while. First we need to go up and then we can see 1620 again. But overall I am bullish and I'm gonna keep bullishness until the channel breaks towards downside over here. So I cannot be, you know, I could be worried that it's gonna break down. I could be worried that it's gonna break down over here, but I am not bearish. I'm not, by no means bearish, because I know that that the price needs to break support levels to turn bearish. You need to break the channel down. You need to break the 50 down. You need to do something that shows that you are bearish, but we are not bearish just yet. It is channeling towards the upside. It is bullish trend. By definition, this should break, you know, have a more probability to break toward downside, but since it's a, you know, strong bullish trend, a parabolic move towards the upside up here, we should you know, look for some kind of breakout up here, and once that breakout happens, it's gonna be volatile, guys. So next breakup, if it comes out of the channel towards the upside, is gonna be stupidly hard and stupidly strong. Just look over here, because these moves tend, you know, this went from you know, 20, what's that, 21.3 all the way up to, you know, 23.3. So can you see you know, move up to 25k up here? Definitely, very, very easily. And then we're gonna try to analyze whether that's the last move towards the upside or not. But the channel is a channel, the patterns are patterns. The price is actually quite strong. I could definitely see, you know, some kind of move down into the liquidity zone up here, but it needs to break certain levels, right? And yesterday I started talking about liquidity zone because we were sitting on 10-20 moving average. Bitcoin looked a little bit weak on the hourly time frame, so I was thinking that there is a probability to break, you know, the 50 moving average down here towards downside up here, and you know, maybe even go into the liquidity zone. Bitcoin didn't do that. It showed strength, bounced up all the way up to the resistance up here right now, getting higher highs above the previous highs. It looks strong, it looks bullish, so there is no reason for us to be you know, bears. I know a lot of people are still hoping for any kind of pullback. Sheldon is still telling people, you know, the pullback is gonna happen, we're gonna pick up the liquidity and stuff like that. And I'm telling you guys, in a strong bullish trend, you don't get these chances. Like, you got, you know, over here you got, you know, chance down here at the bottom to pick up whatever you could pick up. Down here you got this, you know, pullback down here where you could buy the dip. And you know, we scream like buy the dip on Twitter all the day long, telling people that they missed the dip, and they did miss the dip. So right now they're hoping for a bigger dip to, you know, to buy down here. But people are hoping for the dip all the time. I'm not saying that you should buy the resistance. I mean, that's stupid, of course. But I'm trying to say that it is good for us being bullish that people are missing the dips. It is very good that people are still talking. I've seen also that that guy Il Capo, stuff like that. He's still short. The price is at 23k. He's still short. he's still keeping it short, and the price keeps going up. And he's got like 200 Twitter followers, believing that they are still short. The problem with the Il Capo and strong short beliefs is that strong short beliefs are gonna get you wrecked. And the same way the strong bullish beliefs is gonna get you wrecked. So we are bullish, but we are not bullish in a way that, once we break towards downside, we became, we are still, no, we are still bullish. No, we break the trend, we become bearish. That's how it works. But the trend is not broken. Now the problem with, all the bears is that we did break the trends. But they still don't believe it. We broke, a lot of trends, and they still don't believe that, the trends have been broken, right? The trends have been, getting broken very, nicely down here, and we have been, increasing the, the move towards the upside up here. But they still don't believe that trends are broken, right? We will be breaking the trends up here towards the upside. And when the trend breaks, I mean, you gotta change the direction in which you believe the price will go. And you gotta turn, you gotta turn bullish. Like over here, you gotta turn bullish. There is no way to keep the bearishness. You are breaking the trends, right? So if you wanna, believe that we are gonna go down or become bearish, something needs to happen with this channel towards the downside, so we can say, okay, something is happening. The bulls have lost the, the momentum. The channel is broken. We gotta look for some kind of support levels on the downside down here, liquidity zone down here, maybe the 21 down here, whatever, right? But that didn't happen, right? So people who are overly, bearish, they're just losing. They are missing the dips because they think every dip is gonna dump down. They think every dip is gonna dump down to, 20k, down here, 15k. They're gonna buy down here back again, and once they buy in, then it's gonna go up because it's normal it's normal human nature, right? You miss something, you always hope, oh, maybe the price is gonna come back down again, right? You go and wanna buy a TV on a sale, but you think it's still not, it's still not cheap enough, so it goes up in price, and then you're like, they're gonna have a sale again, and they don't have a sale, right? But the price of TV always comes down because the new technology, right? It's not that way. But we don't have any reason to believe that this is gonna go down. If it breaks channel, if it breaks the 50 moving area, if we pull back right now, the pullback up here right now could be something like 2-3% towards downside. If we start breaking that towards downside, we're gonna of course turn short term, not bearish but short term pullback dip by the dip. And once that that pullback comes up here, and if we start breaking some kind of important supports down there, then we're gonna turn bearish. On the dip, we're gonna still say it's gonna this is the buying area, whatever that's gonna be at, and it's gonna go towards the upside. But if that buying area starts losing strength, then you are getting a little bit bearish and on the short side. But right now, no reason to actually do that. You can see up here the Bitcoin is actually moving towards downside, up here a little bit, over here pulling back, and it's even 54 minutes left. 54 minutes left. You can see this blue line up here. We're still above the blue line. We've still got a higher highs up here. We're still above this line up here as well, but it's pulling back. It is Sunday, and these kind of moves towards upside and downside, people are shorting here. They're shorting the short term moves, but on a bigger scale, nothing has actually changed. We are still in the right, rising trend up here. The move down needs to break certain levels. You can see up here liquidity zone 20 moving average is coming right after us up here. So we're gonna move into the liquidity zone 20 moving average and then bounce from that. I mean, there are levels that need to be broken for us to turn bearish. Bears are gonna keep on getting wrecked, and bulls are gonna be like, yeah, this is paradise, right? So we got a little bit a while to go. So what I want to do with this Bitcoin daily video is tell you that if we do break this towards the upside up here, this is gonna explode. On the other hand, if Bitcoin for whatever reason starts losing these channels, rising channels up here, we might fall down into the liquidity zone. We might fall down here somewhere and pick up that liquidity and then go towards the upside again. That might happen. I'm not ruling that out. I'm always having that one because these are normal moves. In any kind of bullish scenario, a pullback down into the liquidity zone is a normal move. You go down, what I call a dip. You dip down and then you continue going towards the upside. This is a very normal move. But if the move is very, very strong, it just breaks towards the upside and you explode, right? So it's I'm not bearish. I'm bullish. I'm not euphoric yet because it is kind of using a little bit too long time. And people are saying, you know, just one move to 25k and then down. You know, so the move down up here could definitely, there is definitely probability for that. But I would say until something, you know, major happens, until some kind of, you know, rejection does happen. You can see up here, the wicks up here. And I mean, we are still creating higher highs. Still 52 minutes left. We're gonna see, you know, in Telegram whether this is actually good or bad. But there is no reason for us to be bearish. There is no reason for us to be bearish. Good morning, TLI. Looking for a green day. Held my Gala and XRP loans all through the red day after my entries turned into resistance. Back into green now. Good, you're good for holding, man. Nothing was to hope to have Saturday night after. Either until my alert started going off at 2 a.m. Yeah, it started going up 2 a.m. Like, well, that it was like crazy. Do you think we'll ever see? Nah, I don't think so. Not yet. Something needs to happen, then we maybe. You know, projecting these big moves, guys. Don't try to project big moves. Let me show you also, because you can fall into the trap of thinking that something is gonna go a lot higher, a lot lower than this, right? Oftentimes, and a lot of YouTubers are projecting big moves. They are looking these moves up here, they're saying like this, and then we're gonna do this, right? They are projecting these very long big moves, you know, 1-2 years in ahead, and doing these kind of things will get you wrecked. Often, you know, if you're looking at crypto savvy, is looking at something like this down here, right? Go down here lower and then towards the upside. Looking at something like this, I mean, you could be right, of course. You could be right that, you know, something like this is gonna happen, we're gonna move lower, whatever, right? But there is no reason to believe that this is gonna happen when you are bullish up here, right? There is no reason that this is gonna happen when you are breaking trend towards the upside, right? You gotta assume that the trend is going. So don't look way too ahead in the future. And also, when we start getting up to the resistance up here, people will be calling for, you know, 100k, you know, 130k, 160, under 200k. You know, people will be calling for these, you know, levels just because. And what I'm gonna try to say over here right now, when you come to certain levels, you only look to the next level. You look for, you know, market sentiment. You know, are people euphoric? Are people, you know, stupidly bullish? Don't listen to people that say we gotta go to 20k, 20k, 20k. I mean, 200k. You know, don't listen to people. Just when your grandmas and granddads starts buying, when you know, YouTubers starts exploding in subscription numbers, you know, that's the top. Doesn't matter what that is, whether that's at, you know, 70k or 100k or 200k, doesn't matter where it is, that's the top. The same way it goes towards downside when people become, you know, stupidly bearish that, you know, we're gonna go down to 10k, 50, 5k, you know. Don't believe them just because that's some kind of magic number or some kind of line points down there. We gotta follow the trends, and wherever the trend takes us, that's where we're going, right? That's where we're going. And what a lot of, you know, bears are not accepting right now is that the trend is broken. They are not accepting the fact that the trend is broken, because we are looking they are looking at this logarithmic chart, and you can see here on the logarithmic chart, it's just right now that, you know, barely getting broken up here. And if you pull it on the red candle up here, we are not even broken. We are at resistance right now, right? So the way we're looking at charts, our trends are broken. Down here they are broken, you know, and these are very nice lines. And we gotta just assume the trend is broken. The trend is towards the upside. There is no other way. So bears are gonna keep on getting wrecked. This over here will either have a pullback down here into the liquidity zone before it goes towards the upside, or this trend up here is just gonna get wrecked everybody when it moves towards the upside, because everybody's waiting for that pullback. Bitcoin's looking okay. We are looking, yes, there was this chart as well up here. So I drew this chart yesterday. There were two triangles up here. I drew this chart over here because there was two triangles. There was also two bigger triangles, and there are these two blue lines that are very, you know, majestic support lines. We never came close to those lines. I mean, we did come close a little bit to these two support lines, but the price actually held the 20 and the 10 moving average and bounced off out of this triangle over here. And right now it is even bouncing out of this triangle up here. Now these are just some triangle, and we gotta look at, you know, bigger structure up here. This is some kind of channel towards the upside, so we are still kind of in the channel. But when the channel actually breaks, that's gonna be, you know, the majestic move towards the upside. So 48 minutes left. I'm still keeping bullishness as long as, you know, until something changes. When something changes, we're gonna turn bearish. But we are not gonna miss the move towards upside because bears are saying that we are gonna go down to 10k, right? because if if you buy the zone up here, whatever, and down here at bottom and stuff is going towards the downside, we can always exit the positions, whatever, right? But we are not gonna be like bears, thinking that it's gonna go down here, because what a lot of people are thinking is that this is gonna come down very, very far down, because they are still having this bear mentality where we pull back majestically, and that's when they're gonna buy. They're saying they're gonna, I read on Twitter, they're gonna buy the back at 18k, down here. Oh, we gotta go back, sorry, we gotta go back down to whatever this is, 19k, and we gotta retest those levels. That's what they're saying, and we gotta go back to those levels, and they are gonna buy here, and then it's gonna go up, right? Oh, this line up here wasn't retested, we gotta go back to this line up here, retest that and go up. You don't have to have a retest. People think that you have to have a retest. No, you don't have to have a retest. This is also a problem that people have with the charts. So they see something like this. Let me show you up here. Let's keep the moving averages, because this can actually be used. People see this kind of chart. They see the trend over here. We're gonna use tick lines to explain this. The people see this kind of chart, and they say, no, this needs to come back and retest the line. It does not have to retest the line, guys. It does not have to retest the line. It has to retest a support. It does not have to retest a trend line. It's not how it works. That's not technical analysis. We don't ever have to retest a trend line down here at 16k. What we have to do is retest a support, and we did retest a 20.5 support up here. You can see here pullback, and we jumped up. There has been a line up here somewhere, I don't know where, maybe I'm missing this on some kind of scale. There has been some kind of line that's been retested. We never have to go back down to 18k to retest anything, right? We can pull something down here, we can retest some kind of line just to check if that line holds, and we can bounce again. We don't have to retest the trend line just because it's the trend line. We can just explode up here, never come down over here again, just continue up here, because you only have to retest a support line. Where that support line is, nobody cares. Nobody cares. What we have to do is we have to go into some kind of support over here, like over here, some kind of support, say that, okay, this support is good, it's pumping us higher. That means that this support line up here, this support line over here right now at 20.6k is legit support. We pull back, we find the support, we bounced off of that support. We can right now retest that support again over here, but we do not have to retest this trend line down here at 18k. And people are like, no, we have to retest down here and then go towards upside. It can happen, yes, I'm not saying it cannot happen, but before we actually do this move down here, before we do that move down to 16k, what has to happen up here is the channel needs to break. So, before we get down to 16k, the liquidity zone has to break. Before we get down, this 20-point thing has to break. There are so many levels that needs to break before we get down to 18k, guys. So staying bearish, hoping that we are gonna get down 16k, is gonna get you wrecked. It's gonna get all the, and right now, there are still so many people that didn't buy down at the dip, hoping it's gonna go down to 12k, unfortunately. Okay, guys, I've been talking too much about bears and how they're gonna get wrecked. We might get wrecked, but we at least know that we are gonna change our, bullishness into bearishness once we, something starts to happen, right? But we are not gonna be bearish just because of reasons. Something needs to happen. Something always needs to happen. Tired Likes 249. Thanks for 249 bucks. I appreciate it, man. Next time. Thanks for stopping by. It's Bart Simpson pattern, so continuation upward may be coming. It might be. Invert Bart Simpson pattern up here. Yeah, this is definitely Bart Simpson pattern up here. Look at this up here. This is definitely Bart Simpson pattern up here. Right back to the, but this actually continued as well towards the downside. Very nice. Well, if you keep saying pullback, you might be right one. Yeah, one right date, my man. Do you like Eric Cryptogram? I don't like Eric, I like Eric Crypto Crown because he's very relaxed about things. He has his analysis that he's doing. I don't like his analysis. If you see his chart, it's filled with indicators. Indicator. Like the chart is like filled with indicators. And you can not even see the price. You can almost not even see the bars on the chart. You only see indicators. Now he is very good at analyzing indicators, and that's his thing, you know. And if it works for him, he, you know, good luck. But you know, it's not my thing, so I don't watch him that much. I like to, you know, listen to his ideas about what's gonna happen, about you know, some kind of psychology stuff, you know, behind the stuff. But you know, just looking at TA, it's not my thing. But yeah, he does his thing good. But you know, there's just too many indicators. Like he used like 50,000 indicators. Figure around euro inflation numbers will decide. I don't know. Yeah, 22.4k dip and up you go. You think Aptos is still a buy or a hard dump coming? A little bit unsure about Aptos, and I've been saying that Aptos is ready for this move down, but it is holding strong up here. It's not having any kind of, it is doing this curvature, so I would assume that Aptos has more leg towards upside. Now, don't take me too personally. You know, I would say that it has you know, room for upside, but can definitely, you know, fail up here towards upside. The problem with Aptos is there is too much bullishness on Aptos. And I like coins that don't have the bullishness, because I've learned my lesson. Once everybody starts buying a coin, it's oftentimes that there is some kind of, you know, liquidity top at the end. And I would say, although it does, you know, could break towards upside up here, there is also a trend line up here somewhere, right? Up here, that's not broken. It doesn't matter how you draw it, right? The trend is still towards upside, still, you know, hasn't broken the trend up here. It might increase, you know, speed up here towards upside. Does have more room towards upside. Kind of hard to say. Up here, it looks okay. I was actually looking at up here, and that it did look up here like it might actually go up here. But then it just kind of went up here sideways, up here a little bit. So I'm a little bit on sideways, on the side when it comes to Aptos. But you gotta know, guys, once it's the same thing, guys. It's you know, it's the same thing. This is Aptos. Huge amount of bullishness. Everybody talking. Bitboy is talking about Aptos. Twitter is tweeting about Aptos. The Moon Boys on YouTube are tweeting, you know, talking about Aptos. The euphoria on Aptos is reached. Once the euphoria or Aptos is reached, like what's gonna happen next? Elon Musk buys Aptos. What is the next big thing for Aptos? There is no next big thing for Aptos. Everybody's talking about Aptos, right? So the way I see it, euphoria has been reached on Aptos, and I cannot be, you know, overly bullish on Aptos. The same way we are not gonna be overly bullish on Bitcoin, right? You remember up here at the tops right now, you know, Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, right? Everybody was, you know, buying Bitcoin. You know, subscribe numbers went up to, you know, to the moon. Like, what is the next? Yeah, like, who is next gonna buy? Like, Elon Musk bought Bitcoin. Like, who is next? The richest man in the world bought Bitcoin. Like, who is next, right? So you gotta also analyze the chart a little bit like that. That you know, when something is stupidly bullish, euphoric, you gotta know that, you know, you're reaching some kind of top. Now, the big question is whether the top is right over here. You know, whether this is top or it's gonna do another up move up here, and that's the top, you know. But it's, you know, it's definitely not down there. That I can tell you, you know. So look, always look for euphoria, always look for bullishness, and then look for stupid bullishness. That means when, you know, when you are the last one to buy, and then you are saying, you know, Aptos. Once people start saying that, you know, Aptos can go up to 60k or 60 bucks or 70 bucks, that might be true. But it doesn't have to be true in a straight line, you know. It can be like something like this, and then, you know, these kind of levels. So, you know, be careful about that. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Weiwei. How you doing, man? You should change your name to Weiwei again. I liked Weiwei. I feel a short squeeze 25 maybe coming. Daily stochastic on the floor. Stay safe, bears. Aptos like Russian roulette. My phantom log got stopped out at the bottom yesterday night. Ouch. Yeah. Check horizontal support. Better check horizontal support line than some descending one. I check all the lines. Trend change happened at the break of the macro high at 25.52k, don't you think? Nah, like you could talk about, you know, market structure and stuff like that. You know, no, trend already changed. Trend changes at the bottoms, guys. Don't listen to people that say that trend change at you know, higher high or something like that, because you're gonna get wrecked. Let me take any kind of move up here. It doesn't matter. So when you got some kind of, let's remove the lines up here, whatever it is, and let's remove up here so you can see this better. So this is a downtrend over here, and although you'll see that the trend changes up here, the trend changed up here, but it went sideways, and then you got a new trend over here, right? New trend. But when trend breaks, you know, it changes direction. So you got all these trends. But down here at the bottom, that's when trend changes, right? It's still a bigger downtrend. It's still a bigger downtrend. But once these trends break, we get new trends, right? We get a new trends. And once these trends break, we get new trends, right? So we are always looking for a trend break. Trend breaking on a pivot point, right? But you know, this is a big move up here, right? Down here, well, you know, I mean, there are small trend change and big trend changes, but once that happens, this is trend change. So even this move down here, even this move down here, even if it goes something like this up here, the trend has already changed. It's changed at least the direction up here. It might just go something like up here and then go sideways up here. The trend changed. This is a trend, and then it changes the trend. The trend changes once you break the trend line. So at least that's my take on it. So waiting for some kind of market structure to change up here, you know, to do this move up here, and then you can say, yeah, right now we have, you know, because people are talking about markets. I don't know a market structure. I don't get it. I don't get market structure. But people are saying that, you know, it needs to do this move up here, and when you're up here at, you know, 35k, the trend is gonna change. Are you really gonna wait for 35k to buy in, for, you know, the market structure to change at 35k? Are you really gonna wait for that? No. No, you're not. You're not gonna wait for market structure to do something crazy to buy. When trend changes, you know, we buy. Or actually, we anticipate trend change and then we buy. So when you got some kind of trend down here, right? You need to anticipate that this is gonna move towards the upside, and you need to buy the support, right? Because if it breaks the support, you can always sell with a small loss, right? There is always risk in trading and buying and selling, right? Investing. But we don't wait for the breakout. We are not breakout traders. We don't wait for pullbacks. We are not pullback traders, whatever, right? We don't wait for these moves. We don't wait for market structure to change, to buy, to go long. What we do is we find, you know, we find patterns. We anticipate the move. We anticipate the change. We anticipate the consolidations. We anticipate something, and then we say, if this is a accumulation zone. If this accumulation, then any kind of bottom down here must be a buy, right? We anticipate DXY, yeah, but DXY, yeah, anticipating that DXY is gonna go up, that means that you are also assuming that Bitcoin and DXY are one-to-one correlated, so you know, there could be that. But yeah, you can anticipate a lot of things. We buy anticipations, we don't buy a sure thing. Because once it's a sure thing, it's kind of hard for the price to go in that direction. We buy anticipation, we buy the risk. We take the risk, we anticipate something, we figure out what is the probability for this to go this direction. Then we buy it. You gotta buy support lines down low. You anticipate that this is gonna change because of, you know, world is gonna, you know, go into some kind of, you know, euphoria right now or whatever, right? We anticipate the moves. Why people asking about altcoins? We should all know whatever Bitcoin does, alts follow. Does everyone see head and shoulders on Bitcoin? Not yet. My grandma had Aptos tattoo. Aptos 3 billion market is crazy for actual active address. Haven't seen it. I just know there is too much euphoria on Aptos right now. So, you know, it can go up, yeah, it can, but too much euphoria. I'm locked up, I need to get it sorted out. Yeah, you need to do that. A trend is always correlated to the time frame. You can have daily uptrend, but a 1 hourly downtrend. Yeah, I mean, there is always a pullback. What should be a strategy to make money for next 2 years from now? Well, there are two ways, you know. There is, you know, buy and hodl. You buy, you sell when nobody wants. You sell it. You buy it when nobody wants. You sell it when there is euphoria. You know, when grandma and granddad and your co-workers are buying. You know, that's one way. The other way is, you know, to buy coins that are about to pump. Or but you need to know some kind of TI, trading, that's another way. Then being on Discords and Telegrams and knowing ahead of time which coins are gonna come out, which coins are be released. Being into the fundamentals of new coins, you know, pump and dump schemes and stuff like that, that's another way to make money. There's a lot of ways to make money, you know, for next 2 years. Fuck, this is exciting, man. Carlos. Yeah. Carlos, that's the way it goes. Before a daily change and 1 hourly change, no need to anticipate, just for small. No, but you know, small time frames do change up and down very, very quickly. So bigger time frames. Because we broke a huge weekly time frame. Do you know how bullish that is? We need to check baby register in US if children are being named Aptos. That's the correct time to short. Exactly. If you find people named Aptos, that's the time to short. I think we are euphoria stage now. Nah, not quite. Bitcoin Mooning, not quite yet. I actually missed a little bit these lines. Let me just go back to, you know. How could I have so many lines up here on the chart? Let me just go a little bit back down. I don't know why I was writing up here. There we go. Okay, doesn't matter. We're just gonna move this over here, just so. So yeah, guys, the blue line up here, high, 32 minutes left. It looks like we're gonna get a new high close up here on the 4-hourly time frame, which is very good. We are still in the channel. I gotta remain bullish, although we are at the top up here, and these might be some kind of shorting options because it might trend up here for a while as well. But it also might consolidate up here and go towards upside. I don't know what's gonna do, but we are looking for the breakout towards upside, and if breakout down here, we are looking for some kind of liquidity zone to pick us up again. And if that fails, we're gonna turn bearish. Just know that. Still in chance, still okay. But the way I see it, we have more probability for upside than bears have towards the downside. The way I see it. Guys, thanks for stopping by. This has been a Bitcoin Daily on a Sunday. Because on a Sunday the stuff is pumping right now, so we gotta talk a little bit about that. And if you wanna trade, guys, there is a Bybit link down below. If you got 250k, under your mattress at home, in your closet, on your cold wallet, and you deposit that on Bybit, you get 30k sign up bonus. Now, if you deposit less than that, you get less money. But 250k, only 250k, and you can get 30k sign up bonus on Bybit. Imagine that, only 250k. So if you got that on a cold wallet, Bybit link down below. If you want to trade me, we're gonna do trading, and stuff like that. But guys, thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, hit the like button on the way out, and I'm gonna see you maybe later today. Bye bye, guys.